Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebartogo.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk about which offerings we like from heritage brands. My name is Kathy Cool. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Colonel Steve Agley, along with our special guests, Pappy G, Darren McRoy, and Tim Swyatt.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey!
Hey-oh, I like that. I got my title even thrown in there. Very cool. Very cool. That's nice. That's a sign of respect. So we're going to be talking about heritage brands. What do we like? And should be a fun show. I just want to make sure that we don't distance ourselves from heritage because we do love it. And we still spend our money on heritage stuff and all that. Make sure people that are listening don't assume that we're only like, the small brands or anything like that. We still like heritage and we support it. And we'll talk about some of our favorites after the break. For right now, KK said there's something she want to talk about. What is that?
So there's something you do on the Bourbon Show, not the Bourbon Daily, but the Bourbon Show. And you say, what are everyone's acquisitions for the last week or two?
Uh-huh.
So I want to throw out, what are your newest acquisitions?
What are your new acquisitions? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have any acquisitions of note?
So I got it. Tim, go ahead.
I would say fire away, Darren. You were deep in thought, I could tell.
I was trying to think back more than what I got the other day.
The other day counts.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but I was just trying to think of the last couple weeks.
Okay.
I know I got a fresh bottle of Wild Turkey 101, Bourbon and Rye, Rare Breed, Art of the Spirits 12-year. There's something else that I'm forgetting that I've gotten recently. But those are the most recent purchases. Those were the other day. So I can remember that long ago. I can't remember further back.
Yeah.
Old Pietro out of San Francisco. I don't know if that's actually how you say the name
Pietro.
or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Old
very, very famous brand. Yeah.
Old
Pietro.
Pietro.
Whatever.
Enjoy all my whiskey, eh? You like it.
Old Pedro.
My newest acquisitions, and because I check it from time to time, I like just seeing what Leopold has because they do ship. I can get it. I've had good experiences ordering stuff. I don't have any issues with getting things from them. So my latest was this American corn whiskey I've got. So I've got this up here. I got the liter of that. And then because I wanted to try this one, and then I thought, well, if I'm ordering, I'm going to get a 3-chamber too. So I got a 3-chamber, one of those 200 milliliter ones that they sell on there.
When in Rome.
Yeah, anytime if they've got the 3-chamber on there and I'm ordering other things from Leopold, I'm going to get one of those 3 chambers as well. So other times I'm just ordering 3 or of the 3 chambers, but anytime I'm ordering something, just throw in one of those. No problem. Well, I got to have one of those. So that would be my latest acquisitions. How about you, Tim?
Mine would be 2 bottles of a Jack Daniel's single barrel picked from the ABV Barrel Shop that's waiting for delivery.
Okay.
So I'm going to consider them an acquisition. While they're not in my hands, they will be at some point in time. God, other than that, I've been on a dry spell for a while, trying to consume and the taste, doing a lot of things like that. So I've been working down the inventory because, the general is not too. That the Bourbon's found the floor and found other rooms and found other places, and she keeps on moving stuff around and finds other boxes. So I got to start whittling down. But that was the Jack Daniel's picks were definitely big acquisition.
Continue working on whittling down until you come back to the ABV Barrel Shop the next time. Then you can.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Pappy G, how about you? I don't even know because you're drinking your own stuff here on the shows. Are you out there buying any bourbons, anything like that these days?
No, I don't buy liquor.
Don't buy liquor. Okay. Do you steal any? If you steal any or anything like that?
Not that he's going to talk about.
Right. Quite anything.
Yeah, I may have swiped a quart from Donnie Benton a while back.
That's hardly even a crime. That's not even a crime. Stealing from your buddy. So yeah, fair enough. All right. How about you, KK? You asked the question.
I did.
From you?
So I'm really enjoying the Hemingway Rye.
Oh yeah,
I like the Hemingway. Yeah,
that's probably the last bottle that I purchased for myself.
Yes, I do like that stuff.
They're doing good.
They're doing good there, for sure.
I mean, it's not like I needed a bottle.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can't see the 100 bottles over there.
Right. Well, you've combined. You've come after splitting your collection. Now you've combined collections again with someone who's in an upscaling mode.
He's definitely in an acquisition mode.
He's acquisition. He's acquiring things for sure. So on that note, it's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Tim, since he's his first show of the night. What do you got?
Yeah, my
probably thirsty.
I'm working on a Knob Creek single barrel rye from the Old Hickory Whiskey Bar down in Pensacola, Florida.
Okay.
Nothing
there.
Nothing on your side too, Tim?
There was something on my side, but I'm just going to say nothing because that's what usually comes out on the other end.
Right. And I assume you listen to the shows and you verify. We're just not giving you trouble. There's nothing coming through.
No, you're not trolling. My performance is more than subpar.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Renee Howe hasn't responded back to my DM yet, so we'll see. We'll get that figured out.
We'll get it figured out. Yeah, she knows what she's doing. All right, Kathy, you're next. What do you got?
I'm going to open my Hemingway Rye.
All right.
Because it's so yummy.
Okay. Solid could be enough to win this thing. We'll see. Pappy G's next.
The only 9-grain moonshine in the world.
Okay. Again, we heard it. Wasn't as good as Kathy's, though. So Kathy has the lead. Darren's next.
Mine will be probably silent knowing the bottles, but so we'll probably give it to Kathy. But I have some Boxing Bear whiskey, Broken Plow.
Okay, we did hear it.
Cute.
We did hear it. It was cute, but not enough. I think I'm going to give Kathy a real fighting chance here. I'm going with one that there's going to be a last show pour here. I've got Lincoln Pinch from the Kentucky Bourbon Straight Whiskey from Simpson Company, Kentucky, County, Kentucky. I can't remember the name.
Is that a gift?
No, I've had it for a while. Dueling Grounds. Oh, they're doing good stuff. Dueling Grounds is cool. That sounds like a slam on them. It's not. I forgot who it was. So sorry about that. Apologies to Dueling Grounds. They're good people. No, nothing but a little, the slightest of bass there. Slightest of bass, not enough.
Sounded dry.
Yeah, it did. So, but
last show,
cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers. By the way, I won.
You did. Kathy won. Cheers to Kathy.
It just needs to be announced officially.
It has to go on the record. It has to go on the record, yeah. What we'll do next, we'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about things that we like from the Heritage brands. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at neelyfamilydistillery.com.
This is Kathy Cool. I am not KK Poppins, and you are listening to the Bourbon Daily. Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we are talking about what we really enjoy from the heritage brands.
Yes, we are. What are some things you guys like from Heritage, the big guys?
So as I mentioned in the first part, I had to restock on 101 and Rare Breed. So I like those. You can never go wrong.
Okay.
Bourbons and rice all across.
I'll put a shout out. Here's something that I like without hesitation, and that's Old Grandad. I mean, that's my whiskey bar pour there, Old Grandad. Unless they've got something at a decent price that I don't have at my house, I don't buy overpriced things at whiskey bars. And Old Grandad is always a good price. You can usually get a pour of that for around $5, solid pour, 100 proof. To me, if I'm at a bar, I don't go to bars to get drunk or anything like that. I'm just a social thing. I'm there. If I'm at a bar, it's going to be with my friends, and I don't need to impress anyone. I don't need to have something cool in my glass to impress anybody. I'll just take Old Grandad, the bottle of Bond. Hell yeah, that's good enough for me. So I'm a fan of that, and that's from Beam, so that's Heritage for sure. What are some other things you guys like from the world of Heritage?
I like Four Roses single barrel options.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Those are fun. Another shout out to Wild Turkey. I miss the fantail.
Yeah.
But I know that it doesn't work in bars. But those are good bottles. 101, always have a 101. Always have Maker's Mark. The cast strength, or I like their stave experiment things. Right.
Private Select.
Yes, thank you. Private Selects.
I think any bar, if you're going to have a bar set up in your house, two heritage that you got to have a Maker's Mark in there, right? And and then you got to have a Wild Turkey 101. That's a gimme. You got to have that, right? Those are. Pappy G, do you like those? Wild Turkey 101 and Maker's Mark.
Yeah, I like them both. I grew up on Jack Daniels and George Dickel.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I was going to throw Jack Daniels' name in there too. Yeah. Any of their single barrels, I'm in.
Yeah. It's hard to go wrong with those, right?
Yeah.
That's some of the best whiskey out there. So,
anybody who says price.
Anybody who says they don't like Jack Daniels, ask them what they're drinking, and it's always just, well, I don't like that old number 7. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the best reflection of what they do. Yeah. Fine.
Is Jim Beam White Label the best reflection of Jim Beam?
No.
Nope.
Not even
other
close.
things you should.
But Knob Creek, that's a fun one.
That is a fun one.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I also, while I have the air time,
Sure.
Steve mentioned Old Granddad, and Old Granddad's fantastic, but I tend to prefer their rye mash bill from Jim Beam. So any of the old Overholt products, especially their new limited release 10-year cask strength, was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one. I always have a Bottle and Bond Old Overholt and a 114 in my house too. So
yeah.
I'm going to give a little shout out to our friends over at Heaven Hill with Elijah Craig. You want to talk about a solid pour that's typical bourbon with that cherry flavor note? I tend to gravitate towards that. I'm liking that, and I like the Maker's Mark. But I do any of the single barrel. When you have the right heritage brand and you have the right team selecting single barrels, give them a shot, you'd be surprised.
Right. Yeah. This is true. What else from the world of heritage do we like?
1920 and 1910 from Old Forester.
Old Forester.
Some of my other favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Old Forester
and
has
a
lot of products I like.
Yeah. Just that Old Forester signature.
I
feel like it's one of the best cocktail whiskeys out there. The 100 proof Old Forester, known as the signature. I think that stuff's fantastic. I think that's one that should be in the mix.
I did an event where we were, it was an educational event, and for my rye bourbon, I took the Old Forester signature, and I bought a handle, and it was very affordable because that's what I made the cocktails with, and I wanted to have enough. And of course, the person who hosted the event got to keep all of the liquor, and I wanted her to have a good base to learn from. So yeah, you can't go wrong with Old Forester.
Yeah.
They don't make a white label.
Right. Yeah. They don't. They really don't.
They don't.
Their stuff's all elevated.
I think Old Forester still also is a regional thing, even though it's a national brand. Like Beam Suntory, Beam owns Chicago when it comes down to it. It's tough. I mean, Old Forester's on the shelf, but nobody runs to it. At least what I've seen in all the circles that I've been, it's always been Sazerac or Maker's Mark or Beam, and it's interesting because I've always known about Forester. I've always seen it on the shelf, but I've never bought it, even all these years. I bought it on sale when a grocery store was going out of business.
Yeah.
The old screw tops, and I got it for like $15, but I still haven't cracked them yet. But it just wasn't in our. It just wasn't the ones that we would go to. So I find it interesting that regionally Old Forester hits and where it doesn't, and it's like I've had them, I've sampled them, but I haven't bought them. It's just odd. I always gravitate towards Maker's Mark, Beam products, and Jack Daniels.
Yeah,
I'm doing heritage.
So I don't know if this counts. Steve will correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure. But 1792 is
that's heritage.
Yeah,
that's
I
heritage.
want all of that. I never want to run out of their stuff.
1792's good. Yeah. Very solid. Very solid.
I rolled out of the very old Barton.
I don't know if they get as much credit as they deserve. What they have going on at Barton, but they're good stuff. And again, you see other people taking their whiskey and winning, national awards. And they're sourcing it from 1792. I mean, it's because it's good stuff for sure. Yeah. What else do we like from the heritage brands? I mean, just
I'm
the people.
going through my list of heritage brands.
Just the people alone is, that's something to like.
Well, they've been around for a while. Look at the brand ambassadors; they've been around for a while now. The distillers, the folks running the shop, have kind of traded places with across the board and amongst the heritages, this, that, and the other. But what I do love is you still have the family heritage, and the family heritage not given into the corporates as much as they need to. They're still persuading to get in the investments. Look what they're doing with Freddie No and allowing Little Book to go through and then see how that thing goes, but also trying to get craft again or trying to be more experimental. Right. And they know what they put up from the industrial side. Let's be honest, they're industrial alcohol producers that produce retail products, but they also have some unique opportunities to be able to try some things. And I like seeing them taking chances on some of that.
Yeah.
Their tours are fantastic.
Yeah.
When you go to a heritage distillery, There's some craft that can do it better, but you never go to a heritage distillery and you're like, oh, this was just kind of subpar. All of their tours are fantastic. They do a fantastic job. They put a lot of money into it. For something that they could really be like, oh, this isn't really going to help us sell more Jim Beam White Label, right?
Right.
The distillery tours is not that target audience. And so they could put all that marketing into something else. But the fact that they are willing to do these tours and let you see their stills and their fermenters and everything about it is just really cool.
Yeah, we talked on a previous show about how Heritage is leading the way through innovation. And we're talking about innovation on the whiskey side. But in terms of a lot of the other things, Heritage certainly has led the way on, how do you do tours and how do you get your arms around that? Also, but what is a master distiller and how can you present them to the public? I mean, you think about all the dinners and all those type of things. That wasn't the craft coming up and starting those things. That was the Heritage brands that started doing all those type of things and making, master distillers accessible and things like that. So yeah, they've led the way on all that kind of stuff where,
well, they're the ones that brought Heritage. They brought Bourbon back.
Right.
Heritage brought Bourbon back. It wasn't craft distillers.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, we owe a lot to the Heritage brands. We'll continue to do so. We'll continue to be big fans, even as we focus on what other people are doing out there. Even if we're saying there, you can find better whiskey out there, we still rely and we still drink and we still appreciate what's going on in the world of Heritage whiskey for sure. So there you go. On that note, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Darren, we're going to start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at The Bourbon Adventures.
Tim?
You can find me on Instagram at SwyGuy2112.
Pappy G.
Pappy G 1967 on TikTok. George Rose or Pappy G on Facebook.
All right, Kathy.
You can find me on Instagram at KK Cask Strength.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, thatthingsabvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see me, the ABV Barrel Shop, the place where you can try before you buy. You never know what we've got in stock. Darren's been handling ordering recently. He's getting a bunch of cool new stuff in there. We got a couple of new departments and things like that, trying out some different things, featuring some of our favorites. A lot of that is the Heritage whiskey and stuff like that. So we've got some cool stuff going on at the shop. So check us out online, abvbarrelshop.com. Kathy, anything else to say before we get out of here?
Yes, I know everyone who listens every day, but if just once each of you could give us a 5-star review, leave a comment once or twice a week, that really helps us find new people that listen to the show so we can talk about more stuff for more people.
Exactly.
And if you like what we're doing, we just want you to please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Cheers.
See you, everyone.
Bye, y'all. Buy more Heritage bourbon.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.